Here we go again. 8:15 in the morning, January 19th, 2022. There was a brand new expired that came up today that I'm gonna call that one first, and then I'm gonna go through the other expired listings that I've been calling day after day for the last almost week now. So listen, the whole plan for calling expires is to call them every single day for 7 days, then put them on a drip mail campaign. I almost said drippy. Put them on a drip mail campaign and then call them every week after that. Okay. That's going to get you right around, that's going to get you about 15 or so touches, assuming that they're getting your mailer, assuming that they would definitely take a look at it. If you sent it through Mailbox Power, it would have the picture of their house on the envelope, picture of their house on the card that's sent. Um, it costs about $3 per lead to send it out, and it's worth it if you get a couple calls back off of it, right? That's why I do the phone call first, because I'm not going to spend that money if I happen to talk to somebody and they say no, they're not interested. I'm just going to move on because more expireds will pop up, and then at the same time, if I happen to set an appointment, then of course I'm not going to send off that mailing campaign. All right, so we don't send it for every single one. But after that, after you do that first round for the week, hit them every day, and you don't hear anything back, then that's when you will then make that phone call. All right. Um, Sun is shining today, but it is extremely cold here in Minnesota. We got a wind chill advisory, so I'm glad I'm here inside, and I'm getting my coffee poured because this is coffee and cold calls. Something that I used to do, picked it back up again, and I'm going to get started making these calls. Last one thing I need to say: last night I did an evening session. I was calling absentee owners again. It's actually my list right now is about 4 months old, and I've shortened it down quite a bit. There's not as many. I think I had something like 10,000 leads on there at one point, but now I've narrowed it down to about 3,500 leads. Um, it's it was a good session. I had some good conversation with people. Nobody was mean on the phone or anything like that. And that's not why I took a break from calling absentee owners before. I took a break from calling absentee owners because the answer rate was going down. It's not that they were wrong numbers, but the answer rate was going down. And that was because during the busy season, absentee owners, there were other coaches that were touting to call absentee owners and things like that. And so I feel like it got a little saturated. So with that being said, people started screening their calls a little bit more. So I actually started doing a little bit more door knocking, more of a circle prospecting approach, doing some door knocking, and picked up the phone and started calling absentee owners again when the market slowed down a little bit. However, I don't recommend doing it that way. I recommend staying consistent on the one thing that you do day by day, day after day. Find something that you can do every single day and do it to the highest level. So going forward, I'm not going to take those kind of breaks anymore. I'm going to continue to clean up my list using the share group list. The link is down below if you want to get your absentee leads. They're amazing leads. Last year alone, I got 8 listings off of my list, and I was just calling through the same people over and over again. My process I'll outline in another video as I start to do some more informational and more instructional videos. I've got some big things coming up where you can join my accountability group and coaching program. That's going to be coming up as a subscription model, very affordable and very easy to get signed up and get personalized instruction, and we can do it as a group setting. So the more people you bring on, I would love to do it by mostly by word of mouth, referral only. So looking to grow everything that I do, I look to grow organically and do things like that. But I will create a small website and put that out there so that anybody that's interested, fill out a form. We can have a discussion, and then we can get you all signed up. So that'll be coming within the next week. So look out for that as I link that down below in some of my other videos. I'll still be making cold calls here and doing some shorter videos here, but that one-on-one coaching and in-depth training and things like that will happen on a weekly basis in that group. But look, get that list from Share Group down below. Click the link in the description, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed in the leads that you get. So anyway, jumping right into my plus leads. Just give me a second because there was a new expired listing today. And I'm sure it's being called upon right now by other agents. But show you this. Back to my Wu-Tang mug. Kind of matches my whole theme, right? My firm, my company colors are this gold and black and white. Wu-Tang is obviously black and yellow. So I did that. French press coffee, always French press. Slow brew. I like to call it slow brew just because it's not coming dripping fast out of a thing, whatever. But anyway, let me jump right into this. I've got a new expired listing here. It's a converted mansion. These are tough to sell because there's a lot of they're like historical landmarks and things like that. So I completely understand why it would have expired. It's been on the market for about 270 days, I want to say. So here's what I'm doing now. I pull it up into My Plus Leads. The My Plus listing has the listing ID. I pull that up. My Plus Leads tells me it's expired still. It just expired today, this morning. And I'm going to take a look at it just to see what happened with it, just to be a little bit familiar with it when I call. Just in case somebody answers and they say, what happened? What were you doing? Blah, 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 whatever. Okay. So I won't call this one actually because it looks like it's back. Let's see what happened. It's active. So that's that's why you do that. It went back on the market right away. And looks like it went back on at a lower price. So they took it and let it expire, and then they changed the price, which agents do at times. So that's cool. So I won't call that one. Anyway, what I'm going to do now then is jump into my leads here. Scheduled follow-ups. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as I told you. So listen, expired listings are not going to get you enough contacts, right? Expired listings are good to have because they're the right now business that everybody talks about, right? Like if you have an expired listing, somebody answers, then they're upset with their agent, they don't want to list again. Then you have a higher potential to get a listing, but they're not going to get you enough contacts on a daily basis. If I'm calling for the same 5 people over and over again, one expired comes up on the market, it gets back on the market that same day at a lower price. I'm sure a bunch of people have already called them without doing their research and doing that, but seeing that they're back on the market with the same agent, that's fine. That happens all the time. So you have to understand that, but you also have to understand that if you're doing this, you're not getting enough contacts in a day. So you have to supplement that with either circle prospecting, door knocking, some other form of prospecting to get your contacts in. Even if you're talking to your sphere of influence or whatever you're doing with that, I don't typically bug my sphere of influence like that if they're on my same little monthly email and things like that. But, whatever. Now, I'm quite sure some of these are going to go to voicemail, but we're going to do it again anyway because every time they see my phone number, that's advertising for me.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
I could be blocked. Who knows? I could be blocked. So let's see. Ring, no answer. Follow up tomorrow, 8 a.m. Action phone call. Say. This as complete. All right, so that's the first one. That was number one. If you guys are watching this, anybody that does see this, you see this is the true reality of like prospecting expires and focusing on one thing, one lead source, right? So you have to have a lot more wheels in a lot more spokes in the wheel. Is this how you say that, right? Because I've worked I've worked for sale by owners mainly in my business. I've moved on to absentee owners. I've dabbled in expired listings. Um, I converted a couple in my whole career, but I've never focused on it. And so now it's something that I'm trying to just kind of focus on a little bit more and at least make sure that I have a system in place in order to keep in contact with, because these listings come on the market now, they come off and they may not list right away, but they'll list again eventually. Right. And so you want to be the one that sticks with them. And they want to see that you're the one that's persistent, because a lot of people are just going to drop off. Now, what I'll do in February is I'm going to go back and look at all the listings that expired up to 2 years ago in February, like through February through 2020, through that entire month, and see if there are some that are still expired. And then that'll be part of my calls in the morning as well. So that's part of what this calling is. I always forget which ones are good numbers and bad numbers. That'll be a part of what this that's a part of what this calling is some of these are old expireds because there aren't any new ones. This is call number 2 of 5. And getting these done before 9 a.m. I don't think this one rang like this yesterday.
Hi, this is Bob. I can't take your call right now, but please.
When that rings on Friday, I'll leave a message. Not today, though. Here's something else that's really good about calling this way. A lot of people say try them at different times of day, things like that. Listen, people are screening calls, right? They see the same number calling at 8 o'clock in the morning one day, 2 o'clock in the afternoon the next. They know who you are, okay? So they're going to end up not answering again anyway. But by calling at the same time, or at least around the same time every single day, they see that you're consistent and they see that you're persistent. And that's something that means something to people, right? So think about that. Okay, when you have people that are like, call on Monday at 8 a.m., Tuesday at 10 a.m., Wednesday at whatever time, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. People are screening calls. People are screening calls these days. I don't do the research on the follow-up calls because I've already seen that they're still expired. The MyPlus leads, as I'm looking at it now, it's spooling and it'll show whether or not it relisted or not. So I know that these are still expired, and because they're old expireds, I know that there's not a chance that they've gone back on at a lower price or anything like that. Now, I get excited when I see some that pop up because it's like, man, I would really love that. Really love that listing. Notice I'm sticking with my 3 rings. This has another number to it. Those are either faxes or landlines that pull up, but they pull the numbers in. So ring, no answer. So I do these live, and I know that most people probably catch it on the replay. If anybody watches it, and I do appreciate anybody that watches it even for just a minute or so, just to see what's going on. Even if you fast forward to see just when the calls happen and things like that, I really appreciate anybody who's watching. I hope that you are taking away what the reality is of this entire game of outbound contacts to potential clients. You have to be active. You have to be actively looking every single day. You have to find something to do, actively looking for business and making contacts. Whether you're, and wouldn't preach to just do one thing. I know the things that work for me and what makes sense. I know what I do and do not like to do. For example, I'm not a huge networker. Like, I don't like going to networking events and doing things like that. A lot of people are. A lot of people are good at that. A lot of people are good at like nurturing those relationships and making contacts and like friends in the business and stuff like that. But in all honesty, like, I'm not a huge networker that way. I just don't really do it. So I prefer to use the leads that are given to me like this: expired listings, absentee owners. But if you're a networker, find something to do every day or a few times a week. Find a networking event to go to, make some contacts, talk about buying and selling real estate. Contact your sphere of influence, go out and knock doors in the neighborhood. Whatever it is that you choose to do something every day actively to reach out and talk to people about buying and selling real estate. My thing right now is expired listings and absentee owners. All right, those are my 2 lead sources that I'm working with. And I plan to work towards mastery. I want to work towards mastery on that. We'll see if this guy answers today. So again, after making these calls all week, I'm going to call all these same numbers on Friday, and I will finally leave a voicemail for them. Even in my dialer, I only allow the dialer to ring 3 times. So when I call people, I only allow it to ring 3 times. Until it's time for me to leave that voicemail, then I'll just let it ring until the voicemail picks up. There are 2 cell phone numbers on this one, so I always call both. They're going to see that I've been calling both their numbers. It's a husband and wife. They got to be sick of me by now. I lost track. I think that was more than 3 rings, but that's cool. That's a no answer. This phone call. I used to door knock expireds, but what I found was that a lot of if you're focusing on expired listings that are over like 400,000 or 500,000, a lot of times those folks can afford to move before their house comes on the market. So you go knock on the door and it's just a vacant house, and that's a waste of time. So that's one thing that is a waste of time and gas. There have been coaches out there that say, instead of calling, just go knock on the door, leave something behind like a door hanger or something like that. I've gotten 1 call from a door hanger on an expired listing, and it turned out to be somebody that just was a complete jerk. So I don't even bother with that anymore. I just make the phone call first, and then I start mailing them. All right, so I got that updated how I wanted to. Cool. I'm on to the last one real quick. I know I'm not going to call the landline on this one because it was a bad number. 2996. Yeah. This was a condo. Condos aren't so hot right now. That was more than 3 rings again, but hey, that's cool. I lost track. Listen, that was it for that round of follow-ups again. Getting a phone call back. Hello, this is Blake. Hello? Hello, this is Blake. It could have been somebody that I called. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going back through the ones that I called today. No, it wasn't somebody that I called today, so I don't know who the hell that was that called me back. But anyway, look, things are that I'm working on. I've got a few people that follow me here and tune into my videos, and I would like to better serve the people that watch and support what it is that I do here, and take the advice that I give and really run with it. So what I am working on now, which will be put into action over the next week, is going to be a subscription model where you will, that's not what I want to do, where I will provide more personalized coaching and instruction on how to build your business, go after leads, get leads, mindset, accountability, things like that. It'd be a weekly call for a monthly fee or yearly fee, whichever one you choose. If you sign up for the year, it will be a discount, and I'm working through all that now. So I'll start to link to that in the description on each of my videos as well. I'll still do shorter instructional videos here on YouTube as well, but then you'll get your personal, more personal kind of small group one-on-one time that I'll do, and it'll be for you can sign up for a 12-month period, and once I reach a certain number of people that I'm working with throughout that 12 months, then it'll close up, and then I'll open up the registration again, and we can have something like that. So like I said, I'm super excited about doing something like that to really help people more one-on-one and get that time in with people and really help them and see them grow, and I'll provide that accountability for people that truly want it. The expired listings, I'm still going. Like I said, I'm always super motivated on one thing. As the new ones come in, I'll still continue to hit those up, but that one will disappear from my system once it syncs up and it shows that it's active. That one will disappear, so that won't be anything that I'll be tempted to call on after today. And then, of course, in a couple hours, I don't start calling absentee owners until 10 a.m. There's no need to really be like first on the phone with them, but I'll do a couple hours of absentee owners today, at least get 100 calls in there, get some good conversations in with them. Maybe we'll have some future listings coming up from that list, and then we'll go, and then I'll pretty much be done for the day. So look, get up, get active. You know what I mean? Take action every single day. You have to actively be looking for business. And this is how I do it. So this is The Real. No answers once again. On my way to leaving a voicemail on Friday. I just know that that's the case. All right. Thanks for watching.